Hey guys, welcome to the Greek Chorus, a podcast hosted by two friends from New York who met in college and moved to LA.
Where now we're yapping about how we're using our degrees in charm to navigate this amazing city. I'm Issa Providence.
And I'm Jordan Tate Burrows.
And we are the Greek Chorus!
Hey guys!
Hello! Happy episode 11.
11! Crazy!
Yeah, I don't even know how many episodes we're doing this season. 20?
I think 20.
Okay, so we're halfway through.
Yeah, we're more... Are we doing 20?
I don't remember.
I think so, because we have the next 6 planned, and then we had 4 left that we were...
Yes.
Oh, no, that's... Wait.
Well...
Yes, that's...
I think it's 20.
I don't know. You'll find out.
We're halfway through-ish, maybe.
Probably. More than... We just reached the halfway point, probably.
Today, we're talking about LA misconceptions and truths and things about the city.
Yeah, but first, Issa, what is your goddess of the day?
Thank you so much for asking, Joe. My goddess of the day is the goddess of taking it easy.
Hell yeah.
Yesterday was so hot, so I did like nothing, and we tanned by Joe's apartment pool.
Hell yeah.
And then today I've just been kind of cleaning a little and just taking it easy.
Hey, sometimes there are weeks where you just gotta do that.
Yeah.
Are you booked this week at all, or?
No, I have that thing on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And I just got a text I got this do you want to submit the other week that was like, girl in pool. And I was like, sure, I don't care being in a pool.
Sure.
For this show that they bleep this out.
Okay.
They call it Linda, but it's for
Oh!
And then today he texted being like, so production actually is switching it to the girls in the pool are going to be nude. Are you okay with still submitting? And I was like, no. I was like, maybe for a couple lines and a big fat check, right, but not for background. No, thank you.
Well, so was this on face-to-face?
Mm-mm.
Alessi?
Mm-hmm. But Alessi every so often will email being like, can we submit you for this, you know?
Yeah.
But then they texted me today being like, we're changing the specs. Are you still okay being submitted? And I was like,
full frontal.
No. And it's like the girls in the pool are nude, but the guy is wearing swim trunks. I'm like, okay.
Great. Okay.
But yeah, so gotta pass that one up.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Unless you guys want to cast Issa Providence in.
Well, bleeped.
Yeah. In bleeped.
Cast me in bleeped. Joe, who is your goddess of the day?
I have 2.
Okay.
For the first time ever. Well, okay. So my first one is the goddess of reflection. I was talking after pool day, I was just talking to my mom about female friendships and patterns that I'm breaking and that she has wanted to break and that I kind of adapted from her, that I'm now realizing I have the capacity to differ, and just reflecting on that. Mm-hmm. And also, I'm the goddess of gene gaps.
Gene gaps?
Oh, yeah. So, guys, human females are shaped in a way that sometimes, if you do any form of exercise, you'll have an ass and legs. Crazy concept. So you'll have to like put on a bigger jean size than your actual waist size, which is the most annoying thing ever. Yeah. Because you're like, well, I'm actually not. This is big everywhere else besides my ass. So yeah. Right. But today I'm embracing it because I have a giant jean gap, and like that's happening right now, and I'm like, you know what? My waist, non-existent. It's
nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found. I'm Flat Stanley. Like, call me Flat Jordan. But that's my goddess of the day.
Before we start, do we want to talk about our exciting news?
Yes.
So we're going multi-platform.
Woo woo.
This week we launched our YouTube channel. We still don't have video recording, but we're thinking we'll do that for season 2.
Don't worry, guys. We'll be back.
Yeah. But we thought that we'd put our stuff there so that more people that aren't on Spotify can listen to it.
Or if your parents are confused by Spotify.
Yeah.
I know mine are. And also, it'll be just a fun way to keep up with us.
Yeah, we have all of our episodes so far uploaded on there, so you can listen to any of them again if you'd like.
Yeah, please do.
And give them likes and comments over there.
And subscribe.
Yeah, and share it with all your friends that don't use Spotify.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yay!
Woohoo! Going on multiple platforms.
Go us.
Ow, ow.
Ow, ow, ow.
Next,
Business women.
Yeah, next we'll figure out Apple Music, but
yeah.
I don't really...
But right now, it's okay.
Yeah. I don't know how to use that.
No, next we have to figure out video form.
That as well also, too.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're on it, guys.
Yeah. We also need a name for our viewers.
Oh.
Because there's no...
I was thinking like the chorus girls.
But there's no like gender neutral god or goddess. We have to come up with one. Maybe like goddies.
Godling. Demigods. Because there are children.
Yeah.
We birthed them.
Hey, demigods. Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Hello, demigods. All right, let's talk about LA.
So we're going to start with our top 3 misconceptions. Do you want to go 1, 1, 1, 1? Or?
Sure.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Sure. My number 1 is that people think that there is 24-hour traffic all the time here. And I feel like everything I read about LA before moving here said, the traffic is horrible. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I really haven't been in that much bad traffic.
Just don't go from the west side to the east side during rush hour.
Yeah. And obviously that's easier said than done when we don't have 9-to-5 jobs.
Sure.
But as someone without a normal people 9-to-5, it's very easy to avoid traffic.
Even then, people are afraid of side streets here.
Yeah.
Drive on the side streets. If I'm avoiding highways, I'll be fine.
Yeah. We avoid highways a lot because we would rather drive through neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But yeah, the traffic isn't as bad as people make it out to be.
I agree. It's really only sort of bad and not even that bad from 3 to 6. And that's only sometimes when people are being dumb and crash.
Yeah.
That's it.
What about you?
My first one is none of our jobs are beach.
Okay.
So LA, this is another one that I'll talk about later, but it is the beach traffic. Not about traffic, but just getting to the beach is hard. If you don't live on Venice or Santa Monica.
Yeah.
That's just, if you're a surfer, you'll go to the beach all the time. And if you live there, you'll do that because that's where you are. But going from the north or the east, I'd probably go to the beach once or twice a month. And I was talking to my sister about this because she's visiting soon. And she was asking me, how often do you guys go to the beach? You must go with your friends all the time. And
No.
I was just like, Hudson, I probably can count on my fingers the amount of times I've been to the beach since I've moved here. It will change because it's summer now, but not by that much.
Yeah. My second one is that people think that it's a beach town.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Ian, who grew up in upstate New York, has, like, this is the closest he's ever lived to the ocean, and we still live, like, a 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
And I grew up on a coastal town in Connecticut where
Yeah.
I would go to the beach after school, like every single day of June.
Yeah.
And it took 10 minutes to get to the beach, and that's no traffic. So for me, I'm like, we don't live close to the water. But it's just a lot of like perspective, I guess. And then the beaches really aren't that great.
Well, they're better than New York City beaches.
Well, New York City beaches don't count.
People think they count. Sometimes I have friends who are like, I'm going to the beach.
If you go down to Brighton Beach and like Coney Island area, then sure.
Yeah.
And obviously it's better than the Long Island Sound, which is what I grew up
Yeah,
on.
or
with,
Jones Beach.
Yeah, where there was like a horseshoe crab every other step of the way.
Yeah.
But the Pacific is freezing, and there's a lot of sketchy people down by the beach.
Yeah, and Malibu is a million miles away. It's not in, I mean, it is in LA County, but it's so far.
Yeah.
You have to go through Topanga, past the Pacific Palisades, and then another 20 minutes drive, and then you're in Malibu.
Yeah, and especially since the fires, a lot of the PCH is closed, so it's even harder to get up there.
Yeah. I mean, I think the beaches, there's potential for beautiful beaches. I think Manhattan Beach is really pretty. The Palisades, Malibu. But you can't go there all the time because they're a hodge and a half away.
Yeah.
And Santa Monica and Venice, because they've been gentrified, and you know, there's in any city when you have people gentrifying neighborhoods, people get displaced, and there's a lot of unhoused folk who live on the beaches. That's just a fact. And in Venice and Santa Monica happen to be a hub for that.
Yeah.
They're cool. You should visit because it's Venice Beach, but it's not the beach that I would choose to go to.
Yeah, and I think LA has better things to offer.
Yeah.
And
go to San Diego if you want the beach.
Yeah. Don't come here for the beach. That's, I don't know. There's beautiful hikes. There's a lot of interesting things, but it's such a city that why would you spend all your time at this like slightly dingy beach in this slightly skeevy neighborhood?
Yeah, unless you want to embrace surf culture, which is here. There is a vibrant surf culture, but you need to know where to find it because it's not near Venice or Santa Monica at all.
Yeah, and don't visit expecting that you're going to stay in Venice and also go to all these places in the city and also Disneyland all on the same day. Like,
well, that's my next one, but do you want to go?
Sure. Well, I said that. My next one was it's not a beach town, so you can go.
Okay. Well, my brain. I said Disney lied to us because it is impossible to go from Warner Brothers straight to Malibu in a blink of a scene.
Yeah.
That's an hour and a half drive.
I thought you were going to say Disney lied to us because it's not actually in LA. Disney's all the way in Anaheim.
Oh yeah, Disney's in Anaheim.
Like,
Disney's far.
That is not LA.
People, if you come to visit, go to Universal if you really want to go to one of the theme parks.
Yeah.
Because that's in LA.
Or you have to stay in Anaheim.
Yeah. And oh, no. I'd stay anywhere else in Orange County besides, go me, exercise goal achieved.
Just sitting here.
Just sitting here. But yeah, I was looking because I was thinking about it. LA is 502 square miles. New York City is 22 square miles.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, you can, what is the math on that? You can fit,
let me check.
20 New Yorks inside of LA.
502 divided by 22. Yeah. No, 23.
Yeah, 23 New Yorks inside of LA.
All 5 boroughs. That's insane.
I this morning had a little bit of a brain fart and was like, Griffith Park is like the same size as Manhattan. Which it's not at all.
No, but it's pretty big.
Well, I think my brain was like, if you hike from one side of Griffith to the other side of Griffith,
Laterally?
it's going to take you the same time as walking from, like, Harlem to Fidei. But that's probably just because hiking takes so much longer.
Yeah, but also, I don't know if it's Harlem to Fidei, but you can fit probably a dozen Central Parks in one half of Griffith Park.
Oh, totally. Central Park is tiny. Comparatively.
Yeah.
And
I'd say
flat.
maybe you can hike from Harlem to Midtown. No. Harlem to Union Square, I would say.
And that's how big?
Like the Cloisters to Union, I'd say that's probably how big.
Cloisters is on, like, 210th.
Yeah.
That's not Harlem.
Well, that's why I changed my answer.
But saying Cloisters to Union is the same as saying Harlem to Fidei.
Okay, well, then
Harlem to Cloisters is an extra 90 blocks.
That's true. Okay. Columbia.
Yeah.
Columbia to Union Square.
NYU.
Yeah. Columbia to NYU. That's the answer. It's the size of
Griffith.
But that's
Well,
not
maybe.
even... That's just the length of Griffith. We're not
Yeah.
even talking about how tall Griffith is.
Yeah. Well, we'll do some math. Get back to you guys.
Will we?
I'll figure
No.
it out. No.
No. But it's huge, and it is really... You gotta take a day in the east side if you really are visiting. Mm-hmm. Go to Echo Park, Silver Lake, Los Feliz in one day. Like, one day, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then the valley in one day
Yeah.
is a lot. But you can do it. And then the beaches in one day.
Yeah.
Because, say, in the west side, you can't go from West Hollywood to the beach in one day.
No.
No, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's different visiting here, I think, to plan your day out than it would be in New York City, because I always say for New York, you go out in the morning, you have a morning activity and you have an afternoon activity.
Yes.
And that's all you plan. Because if you plan to go to 4 different museums in one day, you're going to tire yourself out and it's not going to be enjoyable. Mm-hmm. So I always say for New York, you have to have at least 5 days to feel like you actually did the city.
Yeah.
Because then you can go home for lunch and take a nap and then go back out in the nighttime and whatever.
Yeah, I think doing a city is embracing the culture of the city.
Yeah. But here it's every single day you have to do a different neighborhood. Whereas at least in New York, you could do one neighborhood in the morning, one neighborhood in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Not that you're going to get the entire neighborhood, but...
No, but you can at least try and hit it.
Yeah. Like, the Upper East Side, you just go to 2nd and 3rd and then take a pit stop to be like, this is Park Ave.
Yeah, get a bagel,
You're good.
go see the Guggenheim,
Yeah.
stand in line, quit.
Oh, the Met, duh.
Well, yeah, I was going to say the Met.
Forgot, yeah. But there's certain neighborhoods that you can do very... You can
Easily.
get the essence of them.
Yeah,
Like, walking from the 6 over to the Met, you understand what the Upper East Side looks
is
like.
Yeah, you'll pass all the $1 trillion brownstones and you'll get the point.
Yeah, but
You know?
here, you need a whole day to do any neighborhood.
Yeah, because every neighborhood is so drastically different. Mm-hmm. But it's cool.
Or even the Getty is so far out of the way.
From anything.
And it takes
It's
so
beautiful.
long because it's ginormous that you have to have a whole day at the Getty.
Yeah, the Getty takes up so speaking of Griffith, when you're near Sherman Oaks and Bel Air, it's in between. There's this whole
It's on the 405.
hill within. Yeah, there's a hill within the 405, and that entire hill is the Getty.
Yeah. You can't miss it. It's giant and stark white.
So true. I was driving up the PCH. No, not the PCH. I was driving somewhere from Manhattan Beach north to West Hollywood. Boom.
Yeah.
Just the Getty. And this, mind you, sometimes California can be foggy. It was a clear day. This was maybe 15 miles away.
It's ginormous.
Huge.
My third one is not everybody here is drinking the green juice and going to Pilates.
Yeah, no.
And I feel like that's a huge LA stereotype,
Oh, for
is
sure.
everyone wears their Lululemon and aloe and goes to Pilates.
size 0
Yeah.
or size 2.
And a lot of those people exist.
Oh, for sure.
I know
They're
plenty
there.
of people that go to Pilates every single morning, but there are a lot of normal,
Yeah.
grungy, hippier, or just normal.
Go to
eating.
Eagle Rock once.
Yeah.
You will not find a single person who does Pilates every day.
Yeah. Well, maybe the Occidental kids, but
Yeah, well, everyone in LA has done Pilates at one point.
yeah, let's be clear.
Let's be clear. Like, there is truth to the misconception, but it's not the conception.
Yeah, there's a lot of neighborhoods that aren't as prissy Erewhon as I think people think. Yeah.
Most of them aren't.
Yeah.
Very normal people
Yeah.
here.
And I think a lot of people assume everyone in LA is an actor or in the entertainment industry or an influencer.
No.
There's a lot of
There's a lot
people.
of them. But there's also, that's like New York City.
Yeah.
Everyone assumes south of Midtown that it's actor central. There's definitely, you can find them. But they are normal people. Most of our friends aren't in the industry.
They're normal people just
They're
like
normal
you, just
and
like
like
me.
Crazy. Celebrities.
One normal night. Shout out the Addams Family.
So true.
All right, what about
My
your
third-
duh. You have your third. Sorry.
Giving Issa the side eye. Mine is quote unquote perfect weather. This is California. This is a desert. It's super dry in the winter.
Oh yeah.
You have to carry around some sort of sweater with you always, because 1 hour it'll be 80 degrees and then the next it'll be 55 and breezy, and you're gonna be
It
freezing.
gets so windy. The wind is the worst part of it.
Yeah, it's so dry, and there's a rainy winter, so for 2 months it's pretty much raining every other day for half the day. There's the marine layers and June gloom, so in the spring, because of the heat on land and how cold the Pacific is, it won't get sunny until 2 p.m. There's earthquakes, firestorms.
Like the list goes on.
The list goes on. Yes, LA is beautiful. Yes, it's sunny most of the time. But then you're going to have to deal with some of the hiccups.
Yeah. And I think San Diego actually has some of the steadiest weather
Yeah,
in America.
I'd agree.
But I think it's less, maybe it's because it's less hilly. It's not as basin-y as LA is
Yeah.
or whatever it may be. But up here, and it's weird how the climate can shift too. Like the valley didn't get as hot as inner city did when there were the huge heat waves.
Yeah.
But yeah, the weather
Well, that's
here
because
is
it's more
crazy.
spread out.
Yeah.
But LA is the terrain is insane. Because it's so big. It takes up so much terrain. And so you're going to have different weather at the beach than you are in the valley, than you are by Occidental.
Yeah. Well, I saw this TikTok earlier today about how British people will be like, I'm from this county, and American will be like, oh, is that close to London? And they'll say no, even though it's only 2 hours
From
away.
London, yeah.
And on a normal day from the valley, which people would say is pretty much LA, to Inglewood.
Yes, it's in LA County.
Yeah. The entirety of LA County, it probably takes an hour to get across.
Without traffic.
Yeah. So if someone says 2 hours is not close to London at all, that's insane.
That's
because
insane.
It takes an hour to get across LA
That's
County.
not counting Santa Clarita.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah. Or, isn't Catalina in
Well, Catalina is an island.
Well, yeah, but isn't it in LA County, technically?
Probably.
I think so. Yeah, because I don't think it's in Orange County. I think it's in LA County. So with boat, with multiple forms of transportation, it's at least an hour.
Yeah. If you tried to get from Santa Clarita to Anaheim.
Oh, God.
At any part of the day that's not 4 a.m., it would take you probably 2.5 hours.
Even then, when we were going to Fullerton, when we were working on that show, we left at 4 a.m.
Yeah. It still took an hour.
At my house, and it took 45 minutes.
Yeah. So don't tell me that places 2 hours from London are not close to London.
Yeah. Or in Westchester, that we're not close to the city.
Yeah.
If it takes me a half an hour from my house to Union Square, where my family's apartment is, I live close to the city.
Or if there's a direct train line.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
close
a metropolitan area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, you can take a train from Brighton to London, and it takes an hour and a half.
That's
even close.
Yeah.
That's close.
That's really close.
That's a day trip.
Yeah, that's a day trip. Whereas if I went to Santa Clarita, that's a day trip, and I'm still in LA.
Yeah,
I'm still in LA.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your two truths?
My first one is the drivers are bad here.
So bad. So bad.
Do not use turn signals.
I will also say that is because the roads are so bad here.
Yeah, a lot of the roads are really the
exit and the entrance to this freeway are the same.
I hate when it does that. I hate that because then you have to be like, who's gonna go in front because we both gotta switch lanes right now.
Yeah, and because drivers are so bad, they'll hesitate.
Yeah,
and then they'll just get closer and closer to you, and you're like, just go, please.
And nobody uses turn signals. When it rains, don't even try. They don't understand how to drive in the rain.
Yeah, which is why January to February is so awful driving in LA.
Yeah.
When you were with your mom in wine country, I think, when I was working the second day in Fullerton, and that was when the rain like really came. Oh my God. They let me out at 6 p.m. So everyone coming from Orange County back to LA it was pouring rain. I was the only one like going at a normal speed, and even then everyone was honking.
Yeah. Nobody knows how to.
People freak out.
Yeah. When my mom and I were coming back from Paso Robles, because you go really high up in elevation to get back down to LA, we hit snow. And everybody had their hazards on and was driving like 30 miles an hour. And my mom, who lives in New York, was like, this is crazy. She didn't even blink an eye.
Or even in NorCal, people would be like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. People here are horrible drivers.
Yeah. Because they're spoiled by the weather.
Mm-hmm. What's your first truth?
My first is, it is a vlog town. In the sense that people, in a way that I've never really experienced it before, even for New York, people make opportunities for themselves in terms of their online presence. Their acting, their screenwriting. People are really good at making projects and taking initiative, but sometimes it can be taken too far. I was passing the pink wall the other day because I was volunteering at Melrose. And the amount of vloggers I saw, that's true.
And it's funny to see certain things that have this connotation. I saw the pink wall when we went to WeHo to work.
What were we doing? Screenwriting?
Yeah. We're like every other bitch.
Yeah.
But I saw the pink wall and immediately it was like, that's the pink wall.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things here now that have connotation to being influencer spots.
Or the Angel Wings in Venice or Santa Monica. It's on the border. Abbot Kinney Boulevard. It's wild.
Yeah.
So that's mine. What about yours?
My next truth is that LA does have the best Mexican food.
So good.
It is.
Sorry, Texas.
Tex-Mex isn't even
Mexican. It's
hybrid. It's fusion.
yeah.
But the Mexican feud the Mexican food here is so good. And I already loved Mexican food.
Well, we grew up with California moms. You
Yeah.
can't have a California mom and not grow up with Mexican food.
Yeah. But it's just so good and authentic and everywhere here.
Oh my God, it's everywhere. Well, don't come to LA if you. LA is such a diverse food city, but don't think about coming to California if you hate Mexican food or Asian food. You're just not gonna. I mean, you can. You can find a salad place.
There are 3 different sushi spots in my one neighborhood.
And a Mexican spot.
Yeah. At least 2.
Yeah. Me too.
It's ridiculous.
You throw a rock and you're going to hit either an Asian restaurant or a Mexican restaurant.
They're everywhere, but every single one of them is
delicious.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't flop.
Yeah. Also, hot take about this. Don't put cheese on Mexican food. Like copious amounts of shredded cheese, that's not a thing in Mexican food.
It is on beans.
Sure. Cotija cheese is what they put.
But in a burrito, but not on tacos.
No. In fact, tacos, you have either your protein or your vegetable, maybe some cilantro.
And onions.
And that's it. And that's a good taco.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
That's exactly how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
For me, my true is that, speaking of traffic, from only the hours of 3 to 6, traffic only goes one way. So if you're going west to east by 3 p.m., you will hit traffic because people are bad drivers.
Yeah.
But if you're coming from Silver Lake to West Hollywood, you're going to have the quickest drive of your life.
It also depends, like going from the valley into the city is fine.
Yeah.
But you try to go from into the city to the valley and you are bumper to bumper.
Well, that's similar to New York because everyone commutes to work. So if you're commuting to downtown or Beverly Hills to work and then you live in the valley, your traffic is going to be much worse coming from the city because everyone's trying to get home. Just be smart about it, you know?
Yeah.
Don't go to West Hollywood from Santa Clarita at 12 p.m. for lunch and then expect by 3 p.m. that you're going to have a breeze of a drive back. But if you go to Santa Clarita for lunch, 15 minutes.
Yeah, go the opposite way.
Go the opposite way of what you think. Yeah, totally. Oh, wait, no, that's mine. Okay, what is your annoying findings about LA? What's your first one?
My first one is just, and we keep talking about this, how far everything is. It just is so, coming from New York where everything you can get on a subway to get to.
I can get to South Bronx from, I lived in Union Square, but so 45 minutes?
Yeah.
That's far.
And there's not traffic, like, because
There's foot traffic, but there's not traffic.
Yeah, because the subways run
New York.
pretty consistently, and depending on, unless you're looking for a subway at 4 a.m., they
also,
run.
please don't take the subway at 4 a.m. Just don't do it. If you are with a group,
I've never done it alone.
Yeah, or even in a duo that is like 2 AFAB people, like you and I love you. We're not taking the subway at 4 a.m. together.
Yeah, I have at 3.
By yourself?
With another girl.
Okay.
Like coming home from the club.
Well, yeah. You and I have taken the subway at like 2 a.m. New Year's?
Well, but Ian was there. When did we take the subway on New Year's?
We were coming from KGB back up to...
We walked.
Well, yeah. Did we not take the subway?
No, girl.
Maybe I'm talking about another night that I was with another blonde girl. Sorry, I cheated on you with another blonde.
We took the tube on my birthday at like 2 a.m.
Did do that.
But that was a big group of people.
Yeah, but you and I are runners when we're drunk. Sorry, Mom and Dad, we're runners when we're drunk. So in London, Issa and I would just hold hands and run in front of everyone else.
Yeah, that night is a little blurry.
Well,
I
you
remember
deserved
being
it.
in the bathroom in the tube station. Being
Yeah,
like, wow, this is really nice for a tube bathroom.
I remember when you said that. It was so funny because you just left. You Irish goodbye to everyone just to go into the tube station bathroom. And I forget who it was. One of the guys who was there was like, "Where's Issa going?" And I was like, "Guys, I'll run after her."
Like, very good. Gotta pee.
So iconic.
But yeah, everything is so far away here.
So
and
far.
It's... and it keeps coming back to the traffic and the driving and stuff. After a certain point of the day, you can't go to certain places and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it's also in New York. It's like this too. If you lived in Harlem and had, well, this is true. I know people who do this, but someone lives in Harlem and is dating someone in Bushwick. That's a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
But you'll pretty much all of your friends, unless you live in the same neighborhood or close to the same neighborhood, you're in a long distance friendship. Mm-hmm. I was gonna room with one of our friends, but the only jobs that she's looking for are jobs in Santa Monica and Venice. And my jobs are mostly on the east side or in the valley where the studios are.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I was like, I love you so much, girl, and this is not a slight on you. We just have very different living necessities. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
But that's so fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's so far, depending on... It all relies on where you work and the different neighborhoods. It's going to be easy to get to and from work.
Yeah.
And
it can be easy. We're complaining, but we're not also complaining because just don't be dumb.
yeah. What's your first annoying?
My first is everyone or many people, at least being in the periphery of the industry, everyone likes to think that they know someone. So I will have someone say to me, "Oh, I have a friend who has a friend who's friends with this celebrity," and like we're technically friends because I went to this house party that's one time and they follow me on Snapchat. You're not friends.
Yeah. You don't
can't-
know them.
No, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to not know people. People in LA, I find, are usually really open to get to know you unless they're the woat. So it's okay to not have to know people.
Yeah. Yeah, people try to flex that they're like...
Also, they're flexing the wrong people because you're flexing a 16-year-old TikTok star. Who is this?
Like, okay.
I was like, great.
Or it's when people on set clearly have been a background actor for a really long time and then go up to the PAs saying, "Oh, can I see the call sheet? Like, what are we doing today?" And you're just doing this so that everybody knows that you know
You feel
them.
special. Or, in no shade to anyone who does these, they're a great form of money, but people who like to say, "Oh yeah, I'm a working actor in very big productions," when they're just on verticals.
And there are plenty of people that are vertical stars.
Oh yeah, and you make bank and you're much richer than I am right now, and I'm doing background for 70 for 4 and scrounging. So you do you, but don't pretend that you're a Warner Brothers darling when you're a TikTok darling. That's okay.
Yeah, and that's fine if that's how you want your career to go, but don't act like
you're Netflix's Millie Bobby Brown. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Okay, what's your second?
My second is that it's unwalkable, and not in the sense of I can't walk to my local neighborhood bar, but in the sense of there are literally places that there are not sidewalks
Yeah.
and there is no infrastructure to walk.
I was talking to my dad about this when he came to visit. It's really easy to get around neighborhood. But it's not easy to get from neighborhood to neighborhood.
Yeah.
In fact, you can't.
Yeah. But even in my neighborhood, there's sidewalks everywhere, and then there'll be one house that just doesn't have a sidewalk.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna be walking on your grass because for some reason the sidewalk ends for 50 feet. Why?
Yes.
Why? I don't want to step on your stepping stones.
Or, depending on the neighborhood, the infrastructure because of the taxes in that neighborhood or whatever, the infrastructure for walking is jaggedy.
Yeah.
You'll like roll your ankle on the crazy. Sometimes there's this one sidewalk in my neighborhood that goes, I want to say 45-degree angle. And I'm just diagonal walking on this sidewalk.
Or there's construction and then there's no reroute. No. They're just like cross the street. It's like, this is a 4-lane road. I can't just cross the street here.
Yeah, this is a freeway. What are you talking about?
It's so unwalkable.
Yeah.
And they just don't even... I am so curious to see how non-Americans fare during the Olympics. It's going to be a catastrophe.
So, Issa, you and I are taking a little girls' trip during the Olympics.
I half want to be here and half don't.
Well, if the Olympics want us to come and cover the Olympics via our podcast, we'll do it.
Well, there's... The one thing is that there is events everywhere, which is nice.
Sure.
So there are some things up in the valley.
Yeah, or some things in... downtown.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to get to.
But they're all the way from the valley to Temecula.
Yeah.
So if you're coming to visit to go to the Olympics, I have no idea where you're going to stay.
You need to plan where
The event is.
the event the events that you want to go see. So swimming is going to be on the west side, I'm pretty sure, because that's going to be at UCLA's Olympic pool. And gymnastics is going to be all the way at USC.
And some of them are down in Inglewood
Yeah.
at the Forum and the SoFi Stadium. Is it SoFi and the Kia Forum?
Yeah. Well, that's also by USC. SoFi Stadium is by USC.
That's in Inglewood.
Which stadium am I thinking of?
They are using the Coliseum,
Yeah,
I think, for track or something.
I think so.
But it's going to be everywhere.
Chaotic.
And people are not going to... Europeans are going to assume that they can walk everywhere.
You can't.
Not at all.
That's why I'm thinking there has to be some sort of system that they're going to make.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to update the metro.
Trains.
You can't add an entire branch of a metro system in 3.5 years.
No. Maybe trolleys.
Or maybe
Bus?
they'll put, more buses on the roads. I don't know. But they don't want
Maybe we just have to be
use...
Lyft drivers for a week.
Well, they want the athletes to use public transport.
Don't do that.
Girl, don't put my girl Simone Biles on a public bus.
I was going to say, she's so small. Don't put Alona Mar on a public bus. That's America's sweetheart right there.
Like, they're going to get jumped, first of all.
They're 4'6".
And yeah, but I think Europeans are going to want to take the public transport. It's going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
I want to go to one event and then
we'll
rent
go to
out
Baja.
my apartment. Put it on Airbnb for 1 week.
Yeah. Honestly, so true. I want to see track. That'll be cool. Well, I was on track, so.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd want to see.
I don't know. Maybe I'd want to see land, sea, and sky. Land, track, sky, gymnastics, because they're always jumping. And sea, swimming.
That's fair.
And then I'm done. You know what I mean? If I have the funds to see them.
Yeah, I think tickets are already available, so, but I don't know.
Crazy.
But, yeah, anyways. You said your next annoyance?
No.
Oh, what's your next annoyance?
Okay, so unlike New York, where you can find a balance of being with roommates or friends constantly in small groups, there's very little in between of being surrounded by people when you need or when you want to be, and being very lonely in LA.
I can't relate.
You can't relate to this. I live alone.
Yeah.
And I think that has something to do with it, but also even with you and Ian, you can't see your friends every single day because someone's going to be in Ventura and someone's going to be in Anaheim and you're going to be at your apartment being like, wait, so I have to choose? I'm split. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that'll go on for days at a time.
Yeah.
But if you put in the effort, you can be with your friends.
Well, we also run into the thing of it's so hard to get to your friends on the west side. Mm-hmm. And if you want to hang out, you have to hang out for multiple hours at a time.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that it's like worth anyone driving anywhere.
Sure.
So then in turn, we see each other more often because we don't live that far from each other.
Yeah.
And
Lisa and I live 10 minutes from each other.
Yeah. And then other people see each other more often because they live close to each other.
Ella and Carrie live 5 minutes from each other. So,
yeah.
You know.
And I see like Maddie and Jack all the time because they live close to us too.
I have friends who live in South Central, scary place, who I see also a lot because that's a 20-minute drive from me, which is not a lot in LA. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is hard to want to see people, but you have to carve out
time, which it's doable. You just have to be ready to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your delights?
Okay. If you look for it and you work for it, it will be there. LA is so jam-packed in the best way, full of everything that you could want. Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Not a European Tuscan casita, but honestly, I was in Malacca Cove the other day and I saw a peacock just roaming, and it looked like a Spanish-style house in Tuscany with lemon trees, and I was like,
nice.
oh, so there's class in LA. No, it's a class. Well, okay, but I also think, especially right now with at least being in the industry, coming back from the strike and the fires, no one unless you fit a certain type is auditioning right now. Mm-hmm. I was talking to a friend and he said this A-list actress whose team he works with who's begging to get her scene. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you know, us and our friends were writing a screenplay.
Yeah.
And you can find short films that are constantly casting and background, and you can make projects for yourself and feel fulfilled somewhat if you look for it and you work for it. And you can make opportunities happen, but you just have to know that you have to work really damn hard.
Yeah.
But also, if you want to experience a different culture, throw a rock outside and just follow it.
Yeah.
You know, it's really cool, and you can hike and do all these cool things that you couldn't necessarily do in New York or Chicago. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, my first delight is just how culturally diverse LA is. And I think people love to say that LA has no culture.
LA has so much culture.
It is so culturally...
It's more of a melting pot than New York is. In the sense that it's so mixed. Yes, I agree. And we talked about this at some other point. Second episode.
Yeah, about how New York, they're kind of in their own neighborhoods, but here everything is everywhere. Yeah. And I love that, and I think I didn't realize it was like that. Mm-hmm. And I thought living in certain neighborhoods, and certain neighborhoods are very white suburbia.
Yeah, you're going to go to Pasadena or Beverly Hills, and it's going to be white suburbia.
Yeah, but they're not going to have their local mom and pop
Shops.
restaurants and shops and stuff.
And the school will still be diverse. Mm-hmm. We say white suburbia as in the aesthetic, not necessarily the people. Sometimes the people.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills more so than Pasadena, but...
Yeah, totally. But that's my first delight.
Yeah. Okay, my second delight is, and this is in a cute way, but the sort of, it's so negative, but the diet, exercise, holistic health culture in LA provides really diverse options for food and workout and different clothings. And I think LA is so known for its thrifting because it's so cool. And there's so many vintage places that have whatever aesthetic you're looking for. Or if you're, for me, lactose intolerant, for Issa, GF, you can find some really cool, diverse food options that aren't just a salad and a prayer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really enjoy that here. It's very normal to have allergen lists on your menu, no matter what, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, people make fun of the idea that LA is just gluten-free and vegan and just keto. Yeah, there's that, but it also provides for a lot of people who would otherwise have to work for it in New York.
Yeah, I love a good, authentic little hole in the wall in New York, but none of them are gluten-free.
No.
Or even know what gluten is sometimes. Like, though I have one time I was doing background here and someone was putting out, we had been there for so long that they were putting out sandwiches on the crafty table.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, we need to feed you again, I guess. And I asked the guy, like, oh, are there any gluten-free? And he was like, I don't think so. I don't really know what that is.
You were like, right.
You're the crafty guy. I'm so confused how you don't know what gluten-free is, but sure, king.
Okay.
Yeah, but other than that one guy, bless his heart.
Bless his heart. People genuinely know different needs.
Yeah.
And they respect that.
Yeah, totally.
You know, I made gluten-free pasta the other day because I wanted it, but also my friends were coming over and I didn't know if one was celiac or not.
Yeah. Yeah, people are always, I think as someone with an allergy, people are always surprised that I take preferences so seriously and understand them. Like my big Sid was doing no sugar for a class in her master's and she was surprised that I made her this little cake and made sure she had food. And I was like, I know what it's like to not have something to eat. So
one day on set, for you and me, we were together, and they were putting out lunch, and Issa turns to me and was like, they don't have fish. Are you going to be okay? Which was so cute of you, because I don't eat meat. I only eat fish. It was very sweet. Okay, do you have any thing about California at large that...
I have one. Do you have two?
I have two.
So you go first.
Okay. It's not all beach. In fact, it can get very, very cold. There's the desert in Palm Springs. Don't go to Palm Springs if you want a beach day. People are just wearing bathing suits because it's so hot and so dry. Tahoe they're covered in, 6 feet of snow right now?
Yeah.
San Francisco is constantly just fall weather and fog. And San Diego is pretty perfect.
75 and sunny.
Yeah, pretty perfect all year round. And LA is on fire.
Yeah.
So you're not going to... If you go to Reno and which is in Nevada, but right next to Tahoe, thinking, oh, I'm going to go to Lake Tahoe. It'll be so nice and warm in March.
No.
Nope. It's actually going to be torrentially snowing and icy, and you're going to have the worst time of your life.
Yeah, and the one road in from the Nevada side is like the most windy uphill crazy
Yeah,
it is.
tumultuous.
Yeah.
And it's all woods. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to go to San Francisco and it's redwoods. Mm-hmm. Then you'll find palm trees.
Yeah.
They'll be on fire, but you'll find palm trees. You'll find them. Okay, what's yours?
Mine is similar in that California's like bioculture is so diverse and so beautiful. And I think before I moved out here, I didn't understand that LA was surrounded by mountains. That's just not how you think of LA.
Yeah.
And when you're
especially coming from New York.
Yeah, and when you're flying in, your first thought, if you saw that that aerial view, you wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm flying into LA," because you're surrounded by giant mountains. You'd say,
"Oh, I'm flying into southern France because of the Alps."
Yeah, and they're not as big as the Rockies or whatever, but you just don't understand that it's kind of surrounded by these mountains, which is kind of funny. But when we were driving to Idlewild, it was so beautiful, and it's the woods, and even driving from NorCal to SoCal when we were moving in, it was so different to see, there's miles and miles of all of these farms, and then you get to there's forests, there's lakes, there's the beach, there's cliffs, there's all this really interesting stuff that the East Coast doesn't really have.
No.
And the biggest thing near us is the Catskills or the Berkshires.
Or Appalachia.
Yeah, but even the Catskills are nothing compared to the mountains.
No, they're
out here.
hills.
Yeah.
Literally hills.
Yeah. So out here, I was so pleasantly surprised by how beautiful California is.
Yeah, I will say, I joke about it being on fire, but it is one of the most stunning places in the country, I think. Mm-hmm. Just because it's accessible pretty much everywhere. There's 3 major cities that, 3.
Yeah.
San Francisco, San Diego, and LA.
Yeah.
So you're always going to be somewhere where there's a finger on the pulse of what's happening. Mm-hmm. But also the nature, if you want to be surrounded by really amazing natural life.
I want to go to Yosemite so bad.
So bad.
Can we even get... What's the state of the national parks right now? Are we allowed
They're open.
in? Are they?
Just not around here. Yosemite is a little bit by Big Sur, right? It's north.
It's not that close to the water.
Yeah, I know.
Yosemite's near Sacramento.
Yeah, it's on like the same plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more so in the sense of, do they have rangers still that are keeping things open?
Okay. I think so. Well, because it's state by state, I think now.
But it's a national park.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Not a state park.
But I think we can still go. Please.
I don't know.
Protect our national parks.
Yeah. Anyways.
I agree. And I guess my last one is California is really haunting.
Oh. And that's delightful to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the sense of it feels like there's a lot of history and people are really entranced by the Laurel Canyon 70s culture, and that is LA, and the cowboy vibe that LA and California at large has, and they think, it's got to be a little bit dramatized. No.
There's the landmarks that you see on Google Maps in LA are so interesting.
So interesting.
It has the Houdini house or the Playboy Mansion. Like, these are landmarks?
You're like, right.
What interesting things to pay homage to.
So true. But this culture of the 70s and rock culture is very much ingrained in California. Mm-hmm. And surf culture and these things that you grow up reading or listening or watching about, thinking, it's fake.
Yeah.
Or it's not like that anymore. You can find it here.
Mm-hmm. And the wackiest people are the most interesting.
Hell yeah. Do you want to go into hot takes?
Yeah, I only have 2.
I also only have 2. So.
And neither of them are super huge.
Okay.
My first one is that I know you're not caught up, but Severance just had their season finale, and it is so good. It's very... I was mad at the TV. I cried. I yelled at the TV in the finale, and that is not my norm.
No, you don't.
I am not one to do that, but that episode was so good. And they're renewed for season 3.
Yay!
And Ben Stiller has said that season 3 will come out quicker than season 2 did, because it took 2 years to make season 2. But I'm sure they're already writing season 3 and whatever.
They probably already did write season 3.
Apparently it took $2 million to make each episode. And
Apple TV is just killing it right now.
They just have... Well, I think their streaming is the thing that they lose the most money on. Because they spend $20 million making Severance.
Yeah.
Or they just have all these huge sci-fi shows. I'm sure Silo takes so much money to produce.
But then you have the Buccaneers in the studio, too.
Well... But I think they can just, they feel okay losing money on streaming because they make so much money on their products.
Yeah.
So it evens out in some capacity. But I'm really excited for season 3 at some point, you know.
Me too.
It'll come out. But it's very good. It's one of my favorite thinking thrillers. I love that show.
It's a great show. Yeah. Fantastic show. My first one is olive-skinned girls get a pass to be blush blind.
I agree.
I think, for me, if I'm going out of the house wearing little to no blush and I'm going to a public place, I'm going to look ghostly.
Yeah.
Because lighting just makes me look green.
Well, we were talking about this yesterday. Is that us neutral or olive undertoned girls look sickly green when we are not tan.
In the sun. Thank God we moved to California, right?
Yeah. Well, it's also, I use so much face sunscreen that my face is always much paler than my body is. But then Ian, who has rosacea and in the summer doesn't really care that much about sunscreen, has this beautiful tan flushed face, and I look like a ghost comparatively.
Yeah. And so let us wear copious amounts of blush. And if you call me out for it, I'm going to say that you hate me.
I love a lot of blush. That's my favorite
I'm wearing
look.
so much blush right now, and even it doesn't even look like I'm wearing that much blush.
Yeah, no.
I'm wearing like 6 layers of blush.
What blush do you use?
The e.l.f. pink blush.
The camo one?
Mm-hmm. I use Rare Beauty too, the darker Rare Beauty, but that's for special occasions.
Get the Glossier cloud paints. Those are no joke. I love my cloud paints.
Scare me a little bit, but...
I've had them forever, and I'm sure they're going to expire before I'm out of them because you cannot use them quick enough. Bring back mini-sized makeup.
Please!
But at a reduced price because...
I think I only buy mini size now.
I don't go through makeup quick enough.
Yeah.
Those cloud paints are going to last me forever. I'm going to have them when I'm 60 years old.
Yeah.
Because you use 3 drops on each cheek and that's it.
Yeah.
I need a miniature tube to be able to even think
mini
about.
tube.
Yeah.
So true.
But I agree. I love wearing a lot of blush.
What's your second one?
My second is not really a hot take, just a shout out, if you will.
Oh.
This week, well, today, especially on the day that we're filming this, which is Tuesday, the senior class at Syracuse has their showcase, which is very exciting. And boo them for having an in-person one.
Yeah, I know. What the hell?
We wanted an in-person one. And I feel like everything that our class really vouched for, they now have. Like the LA program and the in-person showcase.
Yeah.
They also, the MTs have classes in London now that I know that our class was like, what the fuck? Why don't we have these?
Why don't we have MT classes?
Yeah. So now they have those in London.
It was because of us. You're welcome.
Yeah. So our class really did you guys so good. Anyways,
whatever.
But shout out to them. I hope that it goes well today and went well because you'll be hearing this on Friday. But go check out SyracuseShowcase.com because I assume it's going live after the showcases. So if you want to see the new senior class, go see SyracuseShowcase.com because ours aren't up there anymore.
Thank God.
But go to eastofprovidence.com.
Go to JordanTapeBurrows.com.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's your
so
last
cute.
one?
If straight men had to come out the way gay men did, they would make it so dramatic.
You really feel strongly.
I feel so damn strongly about this. I mean, think about it. Gay men don't have to come out. I mean, coming out is sort of redundant now. Mm-hmm. Like, we get it, you know, invisible closet. The closet was invisible. But I think coming out now has been so chilled out. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't always the case.
Right.
And I was just thinking, if straight men had to come out as straight, they'd sit us down, start weeping, being like, I'm straight, like, I know, like, you must hate me, like.
That's like,
they'll make a show, and it's like, get over yourself.
if straight men took birth control, it would have no side effects by now.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
I think about that all the time.
Oh, yeah, there'd be no side effects.
Anyways.
It's like...
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, say it.
No.
Say
I'll tell you about this
okay.
after, because it's too intimate.
Okay.
Anyways. What are we talking about next week?
What are we talking about next week? Acting
methods?
styles.
Yeah, so if you want to tune in for the most actor conversation that we are going to have probably on this podcast.
This season.
At least this season. Come back next week to learn about some different acting methods.
Whoop whoop.
Woohoo.
Go stream our YouTube channel and subscribe, and follow us at The Greek Chorus Pod on Instagram and TikTok.
Which is also what our YouTube is.
Yes, it is.
The Greek Chorus Pod.
And
I think.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye, demigods.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.